Welcome back, Monster Kitties. This is Aidan, and we have a brand new drawing video today. So one of the things I notice about these videos is sometimes they get a good amount of hits and sometimes nobody really watches them at all, and it's all up in the air as to why that is. But pretty much every single time I draw kaiju, there's always a spike in viewer numbers. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. Maybe the kaiju fan community is just bigger than all the other monster clubs. Maybe I'm mostly known as a kaiju artist, or for whatever reason it is, people really like kaiju, and you know what? It makes me happy drawing them, and if it makes you happy watching me draw them, then why complain? So this week's topic was Ultraman, and the monster that got chosen by my Patreon backers was Gomora, or Gomora, depending on how you choose to translate the name. And Gomora comes from the original Ultraman series from a two-part episode called The Monster Prince, which is actually kind of an unusual episode for that series. So first of all, about discussing that two-parter, if it's okay with you, I'm going to completely ignore the subplot about the little kid who's stalking Ultraman, because as a lot of people who watch tokusatsu shows and movies know, there is no shortage of little boys in little Speedo shorts who are obsessed with monsters. We call them Kennies in the Mystery Science Theater circle. So let's just skip that and just stick with Gomora. Now, when I was saying The Monster Prince was an unusual episode, it's because the format of it is very much like an American monster movie, where the plot is, Gomora is discovered on a prehistoric island, he's dragged back to civilization, he gets loose, and of course, he gets blown to Kingdom Come. Gomora himself is also very much in the American monster mold. He's not very much like the extreme outrageous kaiju with like laser eyes and electric beams and poison gas breath and stuff like that. He doesn't really have any superpowers. He's just a big oversized dinosaur. And his rampages are very understandable. He's been dragged out of his home. He doesn't know where he is. And, you can't blame him for going a little nuts. He didn't ask to be dragged to civilization. So yeah, very much like King Kong, and very much like a lot of the Ray Harryhausen Monster on the Loose movies, especially in the fact that it's very uncomfortable watching what becomes of Gomora. The poor guy is mutilated. I'm gonna say I do get a little uncomfortable watching films like 20 Million Miles to Earth, which is basically about a monster that is just tortured for an hour and a half. And watching The Monster Prince is also kind of an uncomfortable, frustrating experience too, just seeing Gomora getting his butt blown off. Quite literally, he gets his ass blown off by, I forget if it's Tanks or Ultraman who does it. Anybody watching these videos loves the monsters as much as I do, and we understand sometimes when they die for the sake of the plot, that's just how it goes. But just seeing the poor things getting tortured is very, very sad. Gomora, I think, did come back in a lot of the later Ultraman series. I think they made him Ultraman's pet in the Monster Galaxy ones. Please correct me if that's wrong. A lot of my familiarity with Ultraman is just the Showa era. As for Ultraman, yes, he was just doing his job. And yes, there was at least one episode, The Monster's Graveyard, that did say Ultraman does feel remorse over the monsters he kills. Not enough to stop killing them, but, the greater good. So hopefully Ultraman and Gomora were able to patch up their differences and sew his ass back on him. Okay, kitties, I hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time on Dada Hyena's Creature Show. Shuwachi!